book lovers, G here, and I am here today with a monthly unboxing. And this time, I am not unboxing the boxes at different times and compiling them into a video. I am literally unboxing all of them today in one hit. A lot of the January boxes just came later in the month, including my Bookish and Spice box, and that's probably because of the January holidays. So I just thought, okay, I can wait until all of them come together. Also, during the week, not that it matters, I have limited times as I'm filming this video to film because there's construction going on during the day. This is being filmed at night. Essentially, I just wanted to get it all together in one hit so that noise did not get in the way. This month is pretty packed. I decided to renew for 5 of my subscription services, 3 of them being Fairyloot, 1 being Afterlight, and the other one being Bookish and Spice Romantasy. So pretty much at this point, I know what the Bookish and Spice book looks like already because I've seen the digital mock-up. I haven't seen it in person though, and there was a book in my monthly subscription services this month that I got spoiled for. Let's see how that reaction goes down. I'm tempted to start off with that one. You know what? I'm just gonna samurai chop this unboxing. I'm thinking of alternating between Fairyloots and then the 2 other subscription services. And before we proceed with this video today, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this in the future. According to my YouTube analytics, majority of you guys who watch my channel on a regular basis aren't subscribed. So if you want to help a girl out, please make sure to hit that button. Additional ways to help me out, please like this video and follow author Gianna Jones on TikTok and Instagram for more bookish content. I deeply appreciate all the support that I've been given so far, but yeah, those are just some additional ways to support me if you want to. Anyway, without further ado, let's proceed with the video. So let's start off with Romantasy. And yes, I will very much go into detail as to why I am kind of like disappointed in the design. I will be seeing it in person. I mean, I saw it through a photo and I was like, man, why? Because I loved the original cover. And sometimes I think to myself, I mean, I don't know if this one had a Waterstones exclusive edition. Like, if it did, then of course I would buy the Waterstones exclusive edition. So sometimes I do usually buy elsewhere if there is a special edition elsewhere. In this case, there wasn't, so I thought, okay, well, the Fairyloot editions should suffice. Yeah, let's just go into it. let's just show you guys. Cosmic Crown is the theme for the month of my Fairyloot Romantasy. The book pick of the month is the Starlight Air. Original cover for reference on screen. It makes me so devastated that the original cover was swapped out for this one. Honestly, this is a beautiful cover. However, when I see this cover in bookstores, would I be inclined to buy it? I would say that it's pretty. I would. But there was something so captivating about the original Starlight Air cover that just really got me, and I'm a little disappointed now. It's not because this is a terrible cover. I think that this is actually a pretty decent cover, and it would be a pretty decent cover if the original cover was plain. You know, I think I would prefer this over a plain cover, but the original cover was not plain in this case. The original cover was absolutely spectacular and I really wish I had it in my collection. But I do like these pages. Look at the pages here. I love the deep blue hues, but also very much appreciate the pinks up here as well. I do love blue and pink together. I think the strong point of this cover, I do like that. I did see the reverse dust jacket, and I'm not the biggest fan of the colorway compared to the original. So what I appreciated about the original is that you had the green hues in contrast with the purple, and I honestly reckon that worked very well. But here, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that this is a bad colorway, but it's just not the best colorway compared to like what it could be. However, I do appreciate this very beautiful naked high back. That is stunning. Once again, I do like the pink and the blue together. I just really liked the green hues on the original cover. I think the green and the purple hues just work very well. At the end of the day, this is what I received. I do like that spread. I think that that's really cool. I do like the end pages. Sorry, I'm just like scrambling to find something positive to say because I don't want to outshine the positivity of receiving this book in my collection with the negative, but it is what it is. And we've got a light turned on in the room for purposes that are used in that corner of the room, so in case it looks weird, that's why. Overall, I was very much looking forward to reading this book anyway, so I'm excited to give it a go, but it just feels a little bittersweet. I just think that the original cover is just an absolute masterpiece. I'm just a little disheartened, that's all. But I do love the under dust jacket features, and I'm still looking forward to read the book nonetheless, so I am happy that I have this in my collection. It is probably my least favorite Romantasy book design from Fairyloot that I've seen so far. It's not ugly, it's just in my opinion, an unfortunate glow down. We're gonna lighten the mood by going into my Afterlight book pick of the month. So Afterlight is a monthly subscription that does contemporary romance books. Sometimes they do like cozy romance books, primarily romance books. I don't know if they will ever do Romantasy in this subscription. I am waiting for the day that Illumicrate does a Romantasy subscription. I really want them to do one so bad. I remember there was like a customer survey where they're just like, please give us ideas for subscription services to do, but don't include Romantasy. I'm like, are you serious? Like, are you for real? This was like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. Anyway, this is my rant, but I just think to myself that they would be perfect for a Romantasy subscription. Anyway, so they have Afterlight, which you know is great for romance lovers like myself. It is kind of rare that I do renew for Illumicrate and Afterlight only because of the increase in price. Renewing for a monthly Afterlight is 100 Australian dollars because they've started adding a 10% tax on top of the price that we were already paying. I thought that taxes were already included in the price, you know? So they, unfortunately, are significantly much more expensive than Fairyloot, funnily enough. So it is kind of rare that I do renew. However, I really did want the first quarter of releases from Afterlight. I did want January, February, and March. So yeah, we'll see how we go. I think the last Afterlight I renewed for was October, but then again, it's been even longer since I've renewed for Illumicrate. So Rolling in the Deep is the theme for the month. I've heard good things about this author, and I just thought, okay, well, I would like a special edition of their book, please. It's wrapped, but I'm pretty impressed so far. No complaints about this one. I found the original cover to be okay. I wasn't attached to it, so I think that this one might just work in my favor. So the Afterlight book pick of the month for January is Under Lock and Key by Lana Ferguson. I really love that cover. Look, it's also foiled. The font just feels a little out of place. Like it looks like a fantasy font, but other than that, very much love the style, love this cover, love these characters, even though I have not met them. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at those pages. No, stop focusing in on my face and start focusing in on these pages. I love that. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, we've got some very cute art here. I also very much love stained glass window aesthetics. This very much reminds me of a Romantasy, my goodness. Like, is this a fantasy? Like, that's a Nessie. Like, is this a fantasy book? Am I missing something? I thought that this was a contemporary romance. And then this naked hardback is really cool. Like, this is giving me fantasy vibes. It's also kind of giving me classic literary fiction vibes, like with a spine and everything. Yeah, overall, I'd say that this is a very good palette cleanser. I was not actually expecting to love it this much. I did see that Fairyloot was selling this book, but as like a one-off special edition, not part of their subscription service. And so I thought, okay, well, what if this one I don't like as much as the Fairyloot edition? When it comes to the best hex ever, with that book, I actually preferred the Fairyloot edition over the Afterlight exclusive edition, even though I do like the Afterlight exclusive edition. And part of me felt like maybe I was missing out by renewing my Afterlight instead of purchasing the Fairyloot special edition. And that's the hard thing about being a special edition book collector and also being subscribed to these book boxes. I mean, as explained with the Starlight Air as well, we're privileged to receive these books, but sometimes we don't receive our desired version of the book, like, you know, the desired design and everything, but you see the desired design somewhere else. So with Under Lock and Key, I had low expectations for this, and honestly, I'm blown away. I really love this very beautiful special edition. I also love the usage of purple here. Like, the purple, look at it, and also the purple in the back as well. Like, I really like it. So, very impressed by this one. Afterlight win this month. Okay, so we're gonna break it up by doing our box with goodies. We're gonna go into my monthly Fairyloot. Now, I'm really excited for the book pick of the month. When I saw the cover, I immediately fell in love with it. I could say that it's probably my favorite cover of this year, so I've got pretty high expectations for this one. Let's see how we go. The theme for the month is Unholy Alliance, and I really love that card art. Once again, there's a little bit of a stained glass aesthetic. Now, this is an interesting item. I don't know if I've ever received an umbrella in a book box before. The stunning stained glass aesthetic, once again, love stained glass, of Cruel is the Light. They tell you not to open an umbrella inside the house because it's bad luck. I don't care. It's got stained glass aesthetic. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Whoa! I am tempted to just have this open, like, all the time. That would probably attract the bad luck that everyone's talking about, but it's just so pretty. Oh man, I really love that aesthetic. I think that that is an excellent umbrella. Even though right now it's summertime in Sydney, we do experience 4 seasons in a day, so that will come in handy. The next thing I see in this box seems to be a pin, and it's inspired by a book I have not yet read, but it was a previous Fairyloot subscription book pick, Bonesmith, and it is a glow-in-the-dark pin. Ooh. Look at that. That is such a pretty pin. I love that green hue that they've used here. I think that this is one of those pins where not everybody needs to understand the reference, but they'll be like, you know, nice pin. That's a very beautiful pin. I have mentioned on my channel previously, I love to wear pins on my blazer when I go to work. This is definitely one I'm going to pin to my blazer. It's very pretty. It's definitely worth it, for sure. The next thing I see in this box seems to be a tote bag. Ooh, I have a feeling that this is going to be Shepherd King related. Yes, okay, it says One Dark Window, Shepherd King series. That is so pretty. I love the dark greens and the dark red hues. I also like the shape of this tote bag. Sometimes tote bags are just like way too tall and narrow, but this one is wide. Yeah, look at that. I'm definitely gonna be carrying my books in this. This is a very pretty tote bag. I have too many tote bags at this point. I know. But I mean, thankfully I get them for free, and I am probably gonna be using them for book events in the future, but then again, book events, they also give you tote bags. Book lover problems. And I think the last item in the box before we get to the tarot cards, oh my goodness, it's Belladonna inspired. I actually love the fact that we've got One Dark Window and we've got Belladonna. Like, both of those books are like gothic style stories. I mean, yeah, of course, even though I haven't read like The Shepherd King, One Dark Window and stuff. When I really think about it, the only book that I read out of like this box so far was Belladonna. But I do think that I'm really gonna love The Shepherd King. Look at that, that's so pretty. Okay, anyway, this is the box, but what does the actual product look like? I have to be very careful because with trinket trays over them, with trinket boxes, however, do I even have trinket boxes? I don't know. Oh, oh, whoa. It matches the Fairyloot edition of Belladonna. You know, we've got the black background and then you've got like the purple, crimson, maroon, pink flowers. Like, look at those patterns. Whoa. Oh, that's glorious. That's so pretty. And then that. I love this series so much. It's like a very dear series to my heart. So any little Belladonna piece of memorabilia I get from a book box, I cherish forever. Like, I've got my Belladonna glass, and some of that unfortunately scratched off while we were washing the dish. And then I've also got the Belladonna. It's meant to be like a tea container, but it's used for coffee in this household, so that's cool. And now we've got this. Honestly, I could not get enough merch for Belladonna. I love this series to bits. And thankfully, so does Fairyloot. Okay, now before we get to the book pick of the month, I'm gonna look at the tarot cards. We have the 5 of planets and the 6 of planets. I like those colors. That's really cool. These, I believe, are the main characters of the book pick of the month. It's been like that for the last few boxes. It's been the main characters of the book pick of the month for almost every single box very recently, like within the last 6 months, I'd say. Maybe even more. I mean, that's really cool. And I'm excited for the book pick of the month. So let's get to that. And the Fairyloot YA book pick of the month. I'm so excited. Okay, here's a little teaser. Look at those pages. That's so exciting. Is... Okay, give me a second. Are you kidding me? Probably not the reaction that you would have expected. It's Cruel as the Light, by Sophie Clark. Wow, I had high expectations for this. I've commented on YA book picks of the month, receiving book covers that look like would work for an adult book pick of the month. Anyway, you know what? I've talked about this before. I'm just gonna let past G-Spiz explain. A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. And I don't hate this cover, but it is such a glow down from the original cover. The original cover, yes, it had character art, but I didn't just love it because it had character art. I loved what they did with that character art. I love the details that the illustrator put into that cover. It was stunning. Absolutely beautiful. This illustration right here seems to be a discreet cover for a book series that does not need a discreet cover. I've mentioned this previously on my channel. When it comes to young adult books, I don't necessarily necessarily expect book boxes to come up with some sort of discrete cover if the original cover has some fan art illustration. And I was honestly hoping that Fairyloot would consider having appropriate illustrations done or customizations done for the target market that the book is going out to. The reason why I got upset about Swordcatcher was because that was an adult book with character art on it when the original book cover had a bit more of a fantasy vibe to it without character art. This right here is the opposite. A Tempest of Tea is a young adult book that had character art on it initially, and here right now we have a discrete cover which would work perfectly for an adult novel. But this is not an adult novel, this is a young adult novel. I'm just getting tired of Fairyloot doing monthly book boxes for different audiences only to provide customizations that don't suit that specific target audience. That is where I struggle with this cover. I don't hate it, but I see it as a glow down. I am so upset that I did not get the Waterstones exclusive edition because this cover definitely feels like an adult discrete cover when this book did not need a discrete cover, and it did not need a complete change. Like, a colorway change would have been totally fine. I personally love and absolutely adore when book boxes, popular book boxes, do a colorway change to a cover that does not need to be fixed. The cover for A Tempest of Tea did not need to be fixed, and that is just my personal opinion. I am not a fan of this cover for a YA book. I think that this was a glow down from the original cover. I wasn't actually initially fully keen on the original cover either, but I do think that the original cover is a masterpiece. I think that the original cover screams more adulty than young adult. This cover, however, does scream adult. It does not scream young adult, and this is a young adult book subscription. I feel the exact same way about this cover as I did with A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. I mean, I'm not hating the spine. I reckon that the spine looks absolutely beautiful, and I think that these pages look absolutely beautiful, but this does not scream YA to me. And this also does not scream customized cover to me for some reason. It just looks like a very generic, standard literary fiction novel cover. It does not scream special edition to me, and that's why I'm disappointed. I did mention that the original cover is one of my favorite book covers of the year, and this book cover is not bad. It's just, it's an adult fantasy book cover, and this is a YA box. Man, first we got the Romantasy book, and then we got this one. It's not a bad cover. I hate to say it though, it's generic. But we do have the reverse dust jacket, which is the original cover, but in a changed colorway, and I don't love this colorway. I love the original colorway. Once again, I feel like the colors on that colorway work so much better than what Fairyloot have offered us. In this instance, I am so relieved that I did order the Waterstones exclusive edition. It's still on its way to me. It was too pretty to resist, right? I thought, okay, well, yes, I know that I'm gonna get the Fairyloot edition, and the Fairyloot edition is probably gonna look prettier, but the original cover is so beautiful, and the pages are so beautiful, I'm not gonna miss out on the opportunity. I'll get 2 copies of the book. And so, you know what? That's what I did, or at least the other edition is on its way to me. And now I am thanking God that I did. So I'm gonna flip the dust jacket over to the side because as much as I appreciate this, once again, the point that I made with the Starlight Air, if I see this cover in a bookstore, I'm not gonna pick the book up for its cover. Someone's gotta, like, you know, recommend the book to me for me to be like, oh yeah, I will check that out. I would not stare at this cover and think, oh my god, like, I need that book, because I've seen so many fantasy covers like it. And I mean, Fairyloot back in the day, their special editions, they just felt like the glowed up version of the book. In this instance, and you know, the other instances, I don't feel that way about this. Some of you guys might be watching me right now and being like, it's just a book. I know it's just a book. Know that I took the risk by purchasing this subscription and stuff, but I mean, I was really excited to receive the special edition of this book. I was just expecting it to be a glow up. I made the financial mistake and I must wear it. But I see this naked hardback, and this naked hardback is very impressive. I love those flowers. I love the sword. I love these pages. I love everything about this. Once again, it's just trouble with the dust jacket. I don't want to have to take my dust jacket off my book. I do love naked hardbacks, but like, obviously I want a dust jacket there to protect the naked hardback from dust. Oh, I love this. Now, if there's one thing that Fairyloot does well, it is the end page art. Like, they do very impressive end page art. I think they nail it majority of the time. I'm just so impressed by this end page art. I think all the time they nail the end page art. You know, I want to see some of that energy in the dust jacket, you know? And look, with the dust jacket, I need to acknowledge this. It could have been the publisher's decision, right? The publisher could have said, we want to put this this cover out. And to that I say, I think publishers need to be reminded of the category of the book, because publishers, for the most part, you know, we're publishing professionals. We would know how to categorize a book, therefore we would know how to market a book and put a package on a book, right? So in this case, and in the cases of the other book covers that have been brought up as an example, I just feel like if the publisher had influenced that decision, they just didn't do the best job. I love this. I love this naked hardback. I loved every item in the box. The items were so good, and I'm so excited to read this book still. Well, I'm moving on to a box that has not disappointed so far. We got Bookish and Spice. So it is Romantasy month at Bookish and Spice. I believe that this author is coming to Babe. I usually unbox them first, but this was like the 4th box I received this month. Like, I believe I received all 3 of my Fairyloots before I received this one. Funny. Ooh, we've got a very cool bookmark. Look at that bookmark. That's so pretty. Hopefully you can see that character art. And then it's foiled on this side. They usually do really cool foil bookmarks. The bookmark says, "I am the shadow deceiving them, a sword hanging in the darkness, just waiting to end their existence." Oh, okay. Giving main character syndrome, but then again, it's from the main character probably. And then we've got a signed book plate from the author. And then we've got the title card as well. The pin of the month is always a great bonus. Like, the fact that they do a pin of the month, they do a foiled bookmark of the month, like that, they're A++. Okay. Ugh. Ooh. Wow. Actually, you know what? That saved me the job. Here we go. That is the book pick of the month on a pin. Is that a spider? Yeah, it's a spider. It's a spider and a skull. Look, we've got another skull on a cool pin. You know what? I may as well wear both of those on my blazer. For the book pick of the month. Wow, lots of bubble wrap there. Ooh, A Sword of Shadow and Deceit by Lucinda Dark. I already knew that this one was going to be pretty, and you know, I just thought, okay, well, I may as well just save it as one of the last because it's one of the best. In fact, I think it is my favorite book I've unboxed in this unboxing so far. It is just absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness, those pages are so bright. Bookish and Spice are just doing it right with their printing. Okay, look at that. Like, that orange. It's just so bright. Now this is the book without the plastic on it, and then we've got a quote on the back that says, "Mortal but not human, divine but not gods." Ooh. Now let's look at the other features. Ooh, okay. It's a Why Choose series. There are 3 guys there looking all hot in front of female protagonists. Ooh. Whoa. This naked hardback is giving Halloween, like the spiders, the skull, the orange as well. The gods are amused by tragedy. Ooh, okay, wow. And then the reverse dust jacket, we've got the alternative cover, and then we've got the boys on the back. The alternative cover has the same design as the bookmark, and then we got the boys. Overall, I'm very impressed. At this point, I count on the fact that there will not be a day that Bookish and Spice disappoint me. They could disappoint me, like maybe that there will be some sort of blowdown, but I mean, ooh, there's more. Oh, that's so cool. Protagonist is flipping the bird. Yeah, that's right, they're flipping the bird. At this point, I cannot see myself being disappointed by Bookish and Spice because the quality of their books is just absolutely magnificent. And their designs are really cool as well. They collaborate with some really cool artists. I'm getting repetitive. Overall, I can keep glazing them. And last but certainly not least, I decided to make it last because I know that in the past, Fairyloot have done an excellent job with this author's books. So I just kind of suspected that this one would be very pretty. And I'm also seeing people like search for it. Like a bunch of book collectors are on the internet being like, hey, I would really love to buy the adult Fairyloot. And they would show, like, you know, the card, the theme art, if you will. And honestly, people are willing to buy it for a very high price. So I just thought, yeah, that would be the one that I need to save till last. The theme for the month is Rift of Realms. This theme card art very much reminds me of the coloring of the first book that Fairyloot did for this author. It does remind me of, you know, Immortal. I actually have the Waterstones exclusive edition, like, right there in the stack, you know? And honestly, once again, it was just one of those situations where I thought to myself, it is my safety blanket. If I purchase the Waterstones exclusive edition and this edition just does not do it for me. Even though I doubt that Fairyloot is gonna make this one not look good because it is Sulin 10, I just decided to do that. I mean, it worked for Cruel as the Light, if you know what I mean. Last one. Okay, so we don't have a little teaser here. I mean, it's green? Okay. Well, the Fairyloot adult book pick of the month is Immortal. Oh, whoa. Now this threw me off, right? The immortal, the title on the original cover is like this way, right? But it's this way here. Usually I wouldn't like that, but for some reason it really works here because you've got two different images. It just works. And it reminds me of the original Daughter of the Moon Goddess, like that original cover. I love the original cover of Daughter of the Moon Goddess. Absolutely adore it. Kind of sad that I don't have the Fairyloot edition of it, but I have the Fairyloot edition of this book and I couldn't be happier. Something that made me really happy, right? I looked into this book to find out whether it was the first book in a series or a standalone, and it's a standalone, which means that I can instantly include it as a favorite special edition of the year in my favorite special editions of the year video because it's gorgeous. Like, it's continuously blowing me away. The quote on the back says, "What the gods did not give us, I would take." Oh. This aesthetic is making me feel a little nostalgic because I also recently got into the Apothecary Diaries. It has like very similar aesthetics, like with this little temple here, and then here we've got these very beautiful edges. Yeah, gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Ah. I hate to say it, but once again, Apothecary Diaries just kind of corrupt me because this guy just reminds me of Master Jinchi. And Master Jinchi is like my ultimate crush. Yeah, oh wow. They're so cute. Cover and page art side. Let's see. Ooh, check that out. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, that's gorgeous. I'm gonna look at the, oh, the reverse dust jacket. Oh, we've got more. Wow, okay. I hate to say it. I feel like I don't want to say that Fairyloot did not care about the other two books of the month, but it certainly feels like it. I feel like they put all their care into this special edition. That's just all that I'm gonna say. It just feels like it. And I mean, look, fortunately, I'm subscribed to all the boxes. Anyway, let's not think about the other ones. This one is incredible, and I'm so happy that I decided to unbox this special edition last. As soon as the theme was announced, everybody was just like, is someone gonna skip, or is someone planning to not, like, you know, take their box? Please give it to me. It was very anticipated, like very well sought after. Yeah, wow. Let's look at this naked hardback. To finish off with, the naked hardback is stunning. That is gorgeous. But immortal, but the text goes this way. And then, this is perfection. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, do I prefer this cover to the original? Like, I don't know, actually. I really love both covers. I thought that the original was unbeatable, and I actually really don't know. I think that both of them are just as beautiful as each cover. I really love the edges on that one. I really love the coloring on that one, but I also really love the coloring on this one. Honestly, I actually cannot decide. I'm just happy I have both. And if this was the only one that I had, I would be okay with that. Even though maybe I would want that one. I wouldn't be upset at Fairyloot for changing up the style because I think that they did an excellent job with the style because overall it still carries the heart and soul of the original style, you know? Overall, I'm very impressed by this special edition. This was a great note to end the unboxing on. So I guess that's gonna be it for this video today, book lovers. I apologize to everyone who had to put up with my ranting. I don't mean to come off as a complainer because I genuinely want to keep supporting BookBox businesses. But yeah, no, I just have these critiques and stuff, and I'm unboxing these on camera, so of course I'm gonna have some feelings about them. But overall, I'm still thankful that I get to do this. There were some gems in this unboxing. I think that's what counts the most, you know? And if you happen to stay to the end of the video, leave me the pink heart emoji with the sparkles. And if you happen to enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet already. Join the amazing community of book lovers. And also, I have social medias. I'm at author Gianna Jones on TikTok and Instagram if you want to follow me there for some more bookish content. I love you, book lovers, and I will see you later.
Started out with half and I flipped it in a double. Started out with half and I flipped it in a double.